Hello, hello. What's up? Uncle for Uncle cosplay. Absolutely not. What's up, Sag? XI. Hello, Darstrix. Yeah, we're playing Nurgle today. Are they garbage? Maybe not as much as one might think. They got a lot of really strong melee units. Scion, what's up? I think I will have to innovate against some of the faster factions in the game. But how hard could it possibly be? What we got? Chaos Knights o' Nurg. Got Exalted Heroes. 1200 HP. What else? What was this faction have? The Barons of the Bog. Nah, they're not that great. I feel like Plaguegoers. What makes them not good? I guess like Nurgle's always gonna get shot to death, right? But like a ranged faction, can't we just bully them? Mr. Pink, what's up? The kid, Scion, hello, hello. I'm thinking, I kind of want to try like elite Nurgle, like actually get some chosen for once. Get some hyper elite infantry in there. Maybe some ogre action. Some stoogers, mayhaps. You could just kind of play it like an infantry faction with a handful of Chaos Knight Lances. So with some of your fastest speed units, get up to 75 with Rotting Riders. We'll see. Today's just gonna be a fun, quick day. Quick tournament, and then I go back to editing my campaign speedrun. So that's the plan. That is the plan. If you want to play in the tournament, you better check in the next like 2 seconds. Link in the description. Let me see. Let's make sure everybody's signed in. Looks like they did. Gonna advance, generate the bracket. Goblins, round 1. Lots of signups. Ulrich Val's playing today. Berserk's playing today. Pontim's Claw, Navigator. Not a lot of Charks and Danican lately. Well, such is life. MV76. I believe we played them earlier. Yesterday. Is it this guy? I guess so. Oh, that messaged my opponent. Pontim's Claw got a buy round. Let's give him that Swiss point. But yeah, Nurgle. A strange faction. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. Let's see. Do their knights have anything useful? Chaos Knights and Nurgle. They have, well, they have extra melee defense. You can technically field 55 melee defense cavalry. Shouldn't that be good? Am I crazy? Shouldn't that be amazing? $37 melee attack is not that much. But they got charge bonus for that. I guess you don't really want to leave your cavalry in melee, though. The dreams are finally coming true. And I don't know, man. We'll wait to see how the games actually go. Still waiting on our opponent. The Chungus strat. Max Chungus it up. I feel like this is pretty crazy. What, do you just like fleshy abundance them? I don't know, man. They don't really got strong charge animations, right? Against melee factions, though, we could probably cook decently. Aren't orcs the happiest dudes in Warhammer? I think Nurgle has that chaotic happiness. Orcs are generally having a good time, though. It's true. Yo, where's my opponent at? MB. Yeah, we're holding out. I feel like Nurgle's pretty content no matter what happens. Other than plague bringers? Plague bringers? Or plague bearers? Yeah, anyways, I think the trophy goes to Nurgle. Yo, so, yeah, outside of this shenaniganry, I think what makes a lot of sense is just taking, like... It's like a whack load of Chaos Warriors, I guess, and just kind of march forwards. Depends on what their ranged shooting is, right? I guess if it's gunpowder. Well, like, there's also Pestigore spam. Pestigores are very fast, man. 38 speed. Plus Primal Fury. One does not bring plague, they bear it, yeah. Yeah, I think you, I don't know, what's a fast Nurgle look like? So if you want to play Nurgle like a fast melee infantry faction, like Khorne, you take Pestigores, you take the Forsaken. Just play Inticity style Nurgle. Then you can take Furies and Dogs. You do need some sort of mass though. But I guess Rot Knights have 75 speed. You take like a couple of Rot Knights, babysit them. Then you got a bunch of pretty high speed infantry just barreling in. The Toads? Nah, man, do Toads? I don't know how to make Toads work, man. They're crazy. All right. I think we have our opponent. Unless he has to drop. He's playing Dwarves. He's playing Dwarves. Putrefying Carcass, gotta play on that, right? What's Creeping Swamp? Ban Oasis. Sure, let's play in Creeping Swamp. We're playing versus Dwarves. Vengeance of the Dowie. Okay, obviously I'm not going the double Furuncle strat against Dwarves. Sounds like a bad time. You just want enough Furies to kill off Gyrocopters and then some horsemen on the ground, and you're probably fine versus Dwarves. Not a big deal at all. Tarmogon versus Dwarves? Aren't they gonna have like a million slayers? We will definitely want some chariot action, right? Dwarves, we learned, having played them now, we know that the easiest way to kill them is it's quite simple. All you really need is something to kill the air units, and then you spam chariots and then they die. It's that simple. So as long as I have all those options, I'm not too worried. I think if dwarves can ever get the air game, they're like a little bit too devastating. But it ain't too hard denying that. Yeah, just make sure you have like a solid handful of chariots, and it should be chill. We'll see if like troll hammer torpedoes are super OP or something. Screen blockers dwarves. Not like this. There we go. My day is ruined. No. See, so Pestigores are really good versus dwarves. Chaos warriors just have to be good versus dwarves, right? Either that or spamming plague ogres. Do we want the plague ogre unit? Just a little bit of extra deeps? Or do we want more infantry? I haven't played around with plague ogres a ton. I know having like even a few super elite infantry units can really put the hurt on the Dowie though. So maybe we go for that. Now I'm happy. I want to see that fielded in the battlefield and see me win. That's the goal today. We got a donation request a long time ago to try and win with the Furuncle squad. Uncle Furuncle, Papa Kugath, and Aunt... I don't know. Auntie something or other. Something or other. Wants to play Creeping Swamp. Okay, okay. Sorry, just messaging my opponent. Oh yeah, I usually want dogs versus dwarves. Weirdly enough. Alright, this should do. This should do good enough. Where's the opponent? They should be here soon. Apparently they can't join the lobby. Was there a total tavern update? Dogs just for capture weight? They're actually there to kill slayers. Slayers can have a bit of a hard time getting doggy charged. It's pretty jokes. Yeah, doggos. They can also be good capture weight tools if he's going mass air force. And he's in! It's time. So he's playing dwarves. Alrighty. Can it be done? I would really like to play against the Dowie Air Force build. I feel like, you know, with all the pain and suffering I caused to people, surely they're gonna do it, right? How it takes 2 to kill a Slayer? Well, yeah, that's the point. 2 dogs cost 900, 1 Slayer costs 900. I don't see what part of this is not an uptrade. A-meated angler. Bilious Thunder Guff. I'll add it to the list. I'm not going to take it first game versus Dwarves, though, because I think I'll just lose. I do actually want to try and win with Thunder Guff today, though. Because it's a giant. It's a giant. Well, I don't have to explain to you. You like it. You like them giants, Angler. Good luck, have fun. No one will bring Thunder Barge against you. Honestly, I think Dwarves, if my theory is correct, I don't know, maybe he'll take like an infantry corps that's impenetrable. But I feel like any dwarf infantry corps that they might bring, there's no way that they can just win it out in a fight, right? I guess if he has artillery and then he manages to capture all 3 points, it could be sus. The wait him out strat is really nice in general, though, because then I can field my whole army. Dwarves have a really hard time. If they don't trade for like the first 10 minutes, they'll have a really hard time actually fielding units. They kind of run out. So I would like to see if we can abuse that. We brought Chosen, by the by, because having that one centerpiece can really cook against them. 10 Iron Drakes. I feel like 10 Iron Drakes loses to the Chariots, but it's all we'll see. So we got the dogs, we got the horsemen. So if he goes air build, I have all the tools I need. If he doesn't, my starting army in theory is strong enough to win. If I can do a stall strat, we know it works. And this map is not super great for ranged, so I'm real interested to see what we face today. 16 units. Fury should be pretty decent too against most of the range units. They're not the best. Yeah, no happy build. Not quite yet. We're not here to lose this Nurgle. We still gotta win. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of miners. If you take only miners and quarrelers in minor blasting charges, you get to like, you know, like 17 units tops. So the chance that we see anything big is pretty low. At most, like, maybe they'll be combined for one big, like, cannon, like an 800, 900 gold unit. But that's about it if you're fielding 16. Yeah, Nurgle Chariot Heroes are absolutely a menace. And we got Fleshy Abundance. This should tear apart Dwarves, man. Oh, the Chosen are going to be better than just an anchor. They're going to kill everything, man. These are Chosen great weapons. 52 melee defense, 44 melee attack, lots of armor piercing. Very few dwarf units that can actually survive against these for any amount of time. Nice. He's just copying my build. He's doing the same build I was. Except instead of air cheesing Nurgle, he's going for the Malachi Quarreler. Alright, so let's see if everything we learned from yesterday helps us out here. Yesterday is very useful. Either we learn how to play against dwarves, or we learn how to play dwarves. No other way around it. He doesn't have a cannon though, so I can totally just go for the stall strats. Any gyrocopter summons will be met with okay, yeah, there's the cannons. Any gyrocopter summons will be met with good old flyers. Okay, so he's gonna have to capture the points. As we know from last time, if you just don't attack the dwarves for like ever, and then you go for a big strike, it kind of get wrecked. He might decide to push up early though. I do have double chariot, however. 5, 10, 3. Then this thing. There's got to be some stealth units then. There's something we do not see. Some more miners get summoned in, I see.
Like the Battle of Lund, Danes being Nurgle FC.
I'm not familiar with that battle. What went down? Yo, he's not even pushing up, man. You gotta capture some sort of points. Oopsie daisies. Well, I actually got him to friendly fire his miners a little bit. Though I think I actually kind of down traded there, since the cannon got so much damage in. Got him to use one of his blasting charge volleys. I guess that's nice. You know, guess we're just chilling. Cannons are actually having a bit of a hard time getting in line of sight too. Yeah, this guy's just having the time of his life. Ouch, cannonball though. A little bit of friendly fire. Still manages to hit the miners though. They're not too happy. Dude, the fire at will, man, it's kind of eating up his miners. Then again, I lost half HP on one of my Nurgle dudes. But I guess the idea here is, I don't know, if I give him a unit to desummon, then I guess it's kind of better. But like, he has no capture points. The guy has no capture points, so I don't really know what you're to do. Man, more friendly fire, man. Oh my gosh. This is way too much friendly fire going on right now. Way too much. Okay, so now he brings in the gyro bomber. Okay, so then we back up. As you do. I got the triple cap though. Yeah, there's no way he uptrades enough here to just let me triple cap. The loss of the blasting charges is really rough too. And now with the gyro bomber, we just summon in a couple furies and he's kind of doomed, man. I don't have to push him. Yo, these guys got tired so quickly though with that cycle charge spam. All right, what's the play? Mass march forwards. I think a good old flankerino here will do us real well. I can summon in. Yeah, I think I want another chariot actually. Whoops. Gotta be a little careful about Furies. Don't want them getting too much damage in. Now, do I just keep stalling though? Like, I don't really need to. I don't really need to be that aggressive, do I? So the thing about dwarves, right? You can give them a lot of points, but as long as you have one, preferably 2 points, you can play real passive and just win in the late game against them. Pestigors will be an absolute menace. He's only going to get 1 capture point, which is definitely not enough. After facing off against Khorne the other day, we know how to make the dwarves suffer. So he gets 1 capture point. Gonna go for that gyro bomber. They're going straight for my Pestigors, but it has to bail out because Furies. What do you know? And looks like there's no range units to really support here, right? This is going from bad to worse for the forces of Nurg. A little bit of a dodge with the Furies there. He gets a slow down on one of them though. Gets a hit on my Chosen too. Kind of painful actually. But will it be enough? He will most likely be losing his cannon. Does kill off the Furies though. Okay. I'll give him that. I am swimming in cash though, right? We have so much cash right now. And I still have a double cap. And the problem with him is he's just not trading fast enough, right? Although I don't have a lot of super great holding units. Like, this isn't like the Khorne army. I have a lot of mobility pieces here, so I don't know if that's gonna screw me over or something. Whoop. There we go. There's the heal. There's the gyro bombers getting chased down. Gotta delay their value as much as possible. Doomseekers are actually kind of clutching it on the far side. I think the early tickets, though, is just a little too rough, right? I only need to hold one capture point now. If I can hold one capture point, it's pretty over. And right now we still have 2. Time to show true Nurgle potential. We'll see. We will most definitely see. Yeah, so there go the gyrocopters. They're just gone. Nurgle's not one of my top factions, that's for sure. But I would love to pull out a sneaky win today. Might depend on the matchup. We'll see, we'll see. There we go, miners are down. See how annoying these guys are, just constantly zooming around, man. It's gonna, okay, so now he's summoning in some dwarf warriors to steal points from me. I don't think that's a problem. I have a million skirmishers. We can just bring them all in. Start harassing those dwarf warriors. We're even starting to triple cap him again. Oh man, yo, yeah, his push is really slow. Actually goes for the cannon resummon. Dang, okay, that's kind of crazy. Don't know how I feel about that. And I think his lines are even getting a little bit too spread out right now. A little bit of a tough match for him. These Doom Seekers could potentially kill off my my Chosen if I'm not careful, though. We must be at least a little wary. Woo! Heroes kind of dying. Alright, Slayers versus Chosen. Who does it better? I think with heals, my guys will probably be fine. Here come the Angels of Decay too. They'll be great. And then we kill off the cannon. And my opponent is simply a little too far pulled apart right now, right? Ah, yeah, here we go. His heal could probably be slightly better if I brought this guy in, but I think time is a little of the essence. I want to get it down now for my Chosen. Gotta really maximize their value. Damage minimization strat accomplished. There we go. And then Angels of Decay. Are they armor piercing? They are. So I think if I just charge them into these dwarf warriors, they die. Hey, look at that heal. Oh my gosh. Exalted Hero is having a great time. And with all those units dead. Actually, wait, nope. Brotherhood of Grimnir are still alive. As soon as they're dead, then I can push forwards onto these quarrelers and get them out of here. We got that missile resist, so I think it'll be okay. We can use our horsemen here to run interference, but this game is as good as over, as my opponent simply does not have any time to recapture. Triple capped with nothing left, and look at that. Angels of Decay actually do kind of kill dwarves. Very impressive. Here come the chariot boys. Get the Furies in there, huzzah. A nice starter game. I really wish we would have faced a Thunder Barge build though. I feel like a Thunder Barge build would have been so fun to take apart, but it can be sketchy running it. GG.
Unending glory is yours.
I think the dwarves, I don't think they're overthinking the build. In fact, it's like basically a straight copy of my build. I think they just they were not nearly aggressive enough, because honestly they were up trading just fine. Yeah, this is a near replica of the build that I had the other day. Near replica, although the runesmith is slightly different. But I think against Nurgle, you really want to. You really gotta have at least one capture point as the dwarves. And I do think this is probably too many range units because they just get run over by mass melee starts. But yeah, anyways. It happens. So it's Nurgle versus Dwarves. Nothing against my opponent, though. Sometimes you're just not ready for the, you know, hyper defensive play. A lot of people will just march straight into your army and die, so. You gotta get punished for passivity first. I feel like I've seen this before with Dwarves trading well but not getting to the points. Well, against the Elves, which I lost, and against Khorne, we actually didn't trade well. It was pretty rough. I will have to work on my Exalted Chariot micro, though. I feel like they could use a little bit of work. I almost want to take them on Chaos Steeds, too. In theory, the stats are really good. 50-50? Charge bonus of 50? Look at that stat line. They have a bit of everything. Just a little low on the HP front, but... shouldn't they be good? You can take the Helm of Many Eyes, give them a... 104 melee defense is actually kind of insane. Does anyone know if Acid Eye Core is useful at all? It's damage reflect. Chariots are really great. It's true. It's true. Double Exalted Hero on horse used to be super meta. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to him. It's not like they got nerfed, right? They only got 78 speed. You can be pretty fast as Nurgle if you want to. It's not impossible. Alright, we got waiting on Obese Chicken, I believe, to finish their match against Wyolars. Yeah. It was pretty one-sided, but I'm pretty sure they're just a new player. The early phases of tournaments will usually have very one-sided matches. Because the matchmaking starts after a couple games. Speaking of, we're against a rogue AI now. Yo. That's the big H. I'm Nurgle. Can they face the Nurg action? I'm going to bet on... I'm going to bet on no. There's Slaanesh? Never mind. I'll ban... This is bad. I'll ban Glinted Tooth Scrag. Oh, we're dead. Okay, it's fine. Squat time? What do you mean squat time? For every win? Yo, I'm just getting over a cold. We ain't squatting today. Not today. That reminds me. I should actually disable that on the Twitch side. I must recover. Okay, so Nurgle versus Slaanesh. He wants to play Brave Alley. Okay. Ooh. Thing got nerfed at some point. Exalted Heroes. Okay. Hmm. You know, one of the challenges was to increase the Nurgle versus Slaanesh win rate. That's pretty funny, right? Can it be done? Okay, yeah. Fleshy Abundance hits a max of 4 units. Hmm. That one's been sitting there for a long too, mind you. Long time. The Nurgle Slaanesh win rate is pretty brutal. But what if I pull out some insane innovations? Isn't this a cursed matchup? It is quite cursed, yes. Let's see here. So, how do we do this? How do we do? Slaanesh certainly have many tools. Oh boy. What's the most one-sided matchup in the game? There's a few matchups that have like 100% win rate for some factions. I'm forgetting which ones though, but there's some that are truly cursed. Is Nurgle actually one of them? I feel like Nurgle, like I feel like all the Slaanesh matchups were not. I feel like none of them were 100%. Hey, Slaanesh is top of the leaderboard now. Oh, it is 100%. 10 wins for Slaanesh. Casual 10 wins. Nice. We'll manage. Just a measly 10. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So, okay. That's gonna make things a little sus. Just a wee bit. I see. Okay. So, Slaanesh is stacked against us in this matchup. Now, what units do I want here? Great weapons are not the best versus Slaanesh, but this is okay. Slaanesh. The power of Slaanesh. 100%. This is 10 wins. 10 wins in a row for Slaanesh. That's crazy. That is a spicy meatball indeed. I definitely want to fit this into my build somehow. One Brave Alley. That's decent. Alright, here we go. Rogue AI. Give me a worst. This could be the first Nurgle win ever this season. Where is the thing? Increase the Nurgle versus Slaanesh win rate. Hell yeah. Oh boy. Alright. We're gonna try and have some fun here. It's a bad matchup, we might as well. Let me see this. Alright. So this is the double. This is the double request. If you can win with Funky and the boys. Ready, good luck, have fun. My only hope is he gets overconfident. That's literally the only thing. He needs to get overconfident and try and fight Kugat. Without that, I have no shot. Literally none. But Kugath is a juicy target. It's pretty juicy, right? And we got our Stream O Corruption over there. Can countercharge his cavalry with plague drones. Kill his infantry with plague ogres. Hearts and minds shall be won this day. He has Marauder Horsemen, okay. The Marauder Horsemen. They're pretty painful versus these unclean ones. But against Kugath, different story. Against Forsaken and Plague Bearers, right? These guys are tanky. Boom, get Kugath. Yeah. So you capture point number 1. The very start. Can get the Angels of Decay going sometime soon. His skirmishers can't get that much damage off on my Plague Bearers, right? The Plague Bearers should just cook. So we already captured point number 1 with the Forsaken. Plague Bearers are tanking it up as they were meant to do. Now Nakari does have Pavane. So getting the Angels of Decay is a bad idea. Mildly bad idea, but it's okay. Look at this. I have more Plague Bearers. So we're just gonna bring them in. I want him to shoot Kugath, by the way. Kugath does not care about getting shot. He's tanky enough. This guy, though, we can't let him get shot. Kugath, though, he's a beast. We have his Pestilent Decay, his Mortis engine. Now, how quickly is he going to secure this point? We'll see. He's going to move his horsemen there. A lot of his ammo is spent damaging these Plague Bearers, but that's about it. Going to shield the unclean ones. Oh, God, the Eternal Entourage have arrived? Okay. Just a casual Eternal Entourage. So he's playing Keep Away. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense in this matchup, don't it? But aha, we're on the point now. We've taken center board control. We got Plague Bearers coming in. What will you do about that, son? There's no way he steals this point from me, not from 2 Forsaken. We can mitigate damage by dodging a couple of his volleys here. A couple of his skirmisher volleys. Point is captured. Nice. And he's going to have to reposition all the way around to get here, right? That's going to be quite the difficult ask indeed. Forsaken actually somehow caught Horseman. Okay. And Kugath is still eating up those shots, so he's doing just fine. Kugath wants to get shot by those horsemen. He has the armor to kind of tank it. Mostly. Maybe he doesn't want to get shot that much. Okay, we're going to have to move back. He's starting to reposition, right? I'll have to give up this point, and I got to consolidate my forces here. Because this could go south real fast if I'm not careful. Run, Kugath. Run. Okay, we'll go. Big fly time. The flies are pretty good here. Because they can rear charge these fools. He'll leave 1 Plague Bearer in the distance. We gotta kill off the Eternal Entourage. Like it ain't no problem. Come on, Plague Bearers, hold. Hold. That's a pretty good stream of corruption, actually. Ah, hell yeah. Massive damage. Huge. Dang, those guys getting wrecked. And then we slowly march in with this bad boy. And he kind of picked a bad fight, didn't he? Get another stream of corruption. Nice. Gets a little bit of a debuff there. We're going to try and heal it off. Actually routes off a Forsaken unit. Dang. I see. Dang, alright. Should be able to kill off these guys, though. Dang, he actually got a huge rout from that. Pretty crazy. Will the Eternal Entourage crumble? Will my units rally? If they rally, it ain't too bad. What is that? Forsaken of Slaanesh versus Nurgle. Forsaken is okay, I guess. Fighting in the trees, which is not the greatest for us, actually. It's almost killing off Kugath. Oh, what a miserable fight. Hey, my units rallied, though. That's right. Forsaken here just got dumpstered, though. Absolutely dumpstered. Well, at least his cavalry is probably going to be gone soon. I don't really see them healing much. And I don't think he can really kill Kugath. Nor can he really dive in this squad. And he's kind of running out of ammunition now, right? So, you know, as bad as it may seem, we got the squad here. Low ammo. Yeah, maybe it ain't too bad. I can maybe bait him into trying to fight Kugath here. Gonna want to make sure Kugath doesn't die to these skirmishers for sure, but I could see it. I could totally see him living. Little Kugath here. Never had any issues in his entire life against skirmishers. Come on, you know what? You know you want to fight it with Nakari, right? You know you want to. You want to fight Kugath. Yes, come to me. Come to me, little one. I have more flyers here too.
One of your units has been destroyed.
All right, come on, Kugath, get in there. This middle point is gonna be fine. We have lots and lots of spell casting. That's totally good. We're getting in here. I can't believe he still has the Eternal Entourage, but what can you do? Hey, yeah, look at that. Bringers of Beguilement getting dumpstered. You'll love to see that. Kugath is mortising these guys. So he's generating value. Also very nice. Alright, here we go. He's going for the big play. So Kugath has to heal himself now. Otherwise, Nakari is going to dumpster his face. But his heal is pretty massive. He's going to send Furies on Plague Drones, which is a bad decision. And Kugath will grind. He will value trade. Eternal Entourage got nothing on it. Come on, Kugath, get him. Does he have another heal soon? He might not. We're getting on that point, though. Kugath, he's fighting the good fight. Gonna need to do some of that. Okay, beat up the Seekers. Fury's got a lot of damage in, for sure, but it ain't the end of the world. And Kugath's Mortis engine. No, it's cooking all right. Valley Trading, we're 3,000 down, though. Oh, Slaanesh. Why must you be this way? Okay, yeah, there goes Kugath. Alright. Is there any way I can steal points, mayhaps? We're gonna go here. We're gonna send some Forsaken. Dang, that Bringer of Beguilement is fast. I killed off another Seeker, though. The Plague Bearers are doing alright. But yeah, I think the Marauder Horsemen, they were pretty spicy. Nakari's full HP now off the Kugath. I guess I can leave a unit here. Maybe we capture this flank point. And then I could summon in some more Plague Bearers. He's de-summoning, which means less capture weight. That's good. Okay, yeah, he's just beelining for that point. So I should be able to capture this. A single Forsaken, it's a little sus, right? I think we're gonna... Yeah, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna bring in Uncle Furuncle to this point. If he brings the Bringers of Beguilement here, I guess we get wrecked. If he brings Nakara here, I'm double wrecked, by the way. There's literally nothing I can do against that. Here we go, though. Boys on the point. Do I have any capture weight? Oh, I got this big guy. Yeah, reduce melee attack. There we go. Then we got the really big guy going over here. Is he gonna resummon Horsemen? Seekers. Okay. Uncle Furuncle's a Chad, though. He'll be fine. Look at that. We even have capture weight. Let's go. Nakari is all the way over there. Okay, well, you know. Maybe we cook with the Mass Forsaken spam down this side. I did manage to hold the point. You can't say we didn't do that. Furunkel is in. Alright, he has his big ability. So if he commits with all of these guys on Furunkel, he's gonna get a pretty nice AoE. He's also by this terrain piece, which kind of made their charge a little worse. If Furunkel just dumpsters there for a little bit, and we somehow capture this point, then it is not impossible. But I need Furunkel to absolutely cook right now. And he's already on the floor. Come on, Furunkel. Get up, you darn meat bag. Get up, man. It's literally impossible on this map. This is a pretty bad map. Summons in more horsemen, though. That is a potential misplay that will get him screwed over, right? That's a potential big misplay. Think about it. He summons in horsemen. Can they actually secure the point against all this? God, Furunkel, why are you so garbage? Yeah, he did not cook in the way I thought he would. Okay, we're gonna slow him down then. We're gonna slow him down. We're gonna secure this point. We have a whole swarm of guys coming in here. I just have to hold. Exalted is getting massacred over there. But the capture point in the distance is very slightly in my favor. Unfortunately, one of my Forsaken routed. His Forsaken also routed. Oh, it's random Nurgling there. You know what? If I had more random Nurglings, I actually could have captured some points, but what can you do? Oh, geez, Nakari's coming for him. Do I even win on a double cap now? How much time do I have? Yo, there's more Marauder Horsemen, man. Hey, okay, you know. Him falling down actually helped dodge the Marauder Horsemen. Eternal Entourage are in, though. There's a double cap. Come on, beat him up. Dude, Nakari's such a menace. Come on. Yeah, get that slam. You know, there's enough Plague Bearers here to maybe work a little bit. The Bringers of Beguilement, though, are just gonna cook me. Unless the Forsaken somehow magically capture this point on the flank side and he doesn't notice. I'm probably gonna need to summon more Forsaken to get into this one, though. He's gonna just capture it with the Horsemen. Although, I don't know. Okay, Forsaken are actually over here. If he goes AFK right now, we might actually win. He summoned Forsaken. They're actually relatively slow. Bro, the Bringers do not die, though. I literally have nothing for them. Will the Forsaken kill the Hellstriders? Yeah, they're not disrupted by hills either. I guess I get the hill bonus. You know, he's actually losing a couple Seekers in the distance. Captures the middle. Can I get the flank point, though? Okay, yeah, no, it's over. All right, the SE squad did not work. He just killed Gugath. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, anyways. Did you well played? Hell curse matchup. Gugath did not get a lot of value because he's getting shot up. Great Unclean One is not super great either. And let's see here. He did summon the Bringers of Beguilement twice. I think, honestly, if you bring a Buna here, you could maybe do well. Get like a Buna caster. Or what if you just like spam direct damage on Nakari, maybe? If you could get Nakari low enough. My opponent played it well, though. He just played keep away the whole game. But I think the SC squad is not it. It's not it. It's funny, though. If I can make it to tiebreakers and face him again, that would be pretty jokes. All right. All right. I wonder if we can find some like mega cheese to win that matchup. Are basic iron demons any good against ogres? I'm sure they're okay, but nothing crazy. Is that the worst possible build and map against Slaanesh? No, it can be worse. Don't you worry. Anyways, I will, I think if I had to create a build versus Slaanesh. So you had the Pavane. There's like some stuff you can maybe do with like Spirit Leech spam on the Kari. Just get this guy on a horse and just 24/7 Spirit Leech him. I guess you can also Rancid Visitations. I don't know if you have enough magic to actually kill Nakari though. So I'm thinking like you Spirit Leech spam and Fate of Buna, right? So this way, you have two options. You can either kill their elites, because without their super elite cavalry and infantry, they're pretty screwed, right? How much HP do these guys have? Only 7,700. It's still a decent amount of HP, but I think you could probably get something done with this guy. Yeah, just lots of toads versus his cavalry. That sweet anti-infantry toad unit. Although they actually do kind of trade versus Hellstriders, which is hilarious, but yeah. He's gonna have horsemen. He's gonna have Marauder Horsemen. I can bring my own Marauder Horsemen though. I just have to not get Pavaned. How do you not get Pavaned? You Spirit Leech his lord to death, and then you dance, and then you win. But yeah, I think we can probably, I don't know, or I could even cut the Buna, but I think it's worth keeping around to keep him modest. You know, if he has to Pavane a horseman, it can get pretty expensive. So if you just take like 4 horsemen, you get your sorcerer caster, you know. You got your Spirit Leech to slowly wear down his lord. And then what? And then you just not get caught by his cavalry. How do you not get caught by cavalry? You bring you can bring the flying squad. What I don't know. The plague drones that I brought to kill off his super elite cavalry, they did not cook very hard, sadly. Nurgle kite greater than Dowry kite? Technically, yes. Can you please explain Chaos Dwarves in one sentence? I'm playing them for the first time in campaign. Yeah, get supplies. And build tall. That's your one sentence. They are actually really good though for rushing tier 5. Instead of like getting a bunch of settlements to tier 3, focus it all on the one area and then spam cool units forever. It's great. Yeah, I feel like if I had Marauder Horsemen of my own, and then we just kind of avoided Nakari's rampage, then maybe I'd have a slightly higher chance. 90 speed Marauder Horsemen is not the worst. There's potential for out micro there. Get the Thunder Guff. Okay, Uncle for Uncle though and Great Unclean One is so bad though. They are incredibly bad. They are what, 36 speed? Okay, yeah, so they're like Marauder speed, I guess. The fact that they can't fight though is no bueno. They actually can't fight. The only one that can fight is like Gugat. better skirmishers do worse versus Slaanesh. That is true. Although that's only because Slaanesh can choose not to field skirmishers. I think against Nurgle they always will, right? If they go full melee though and just rush down the skirms, we're just dead. Let's see here. The Warhounds. Warhounds don't trade well enough into cavalry. Maybe, what if I go main tide versus Slaanesh? Just a million marauders. No, that's the worst. Against Slaanesh of all things. I could go main tide double hero though. Double exalted hero main tide. Just take a bunch of SEs. Play kind of like vampire counts with the 2 white kings. To bully their lord away. I could take like a Deathcaster. We'll see. Ulrich Wall and Alexander Nuts are still fighting. Maverick Sloth and Berserker still fighting. How's Tarmacon in PvP? Not bad, but he's not a spellcaster. Absolutely not bad though. I don't think he could fight Nakari though. Nakari's kind of insane. Out cavalry Slaanesh, no one expects it. I tried, or someone tried that against me and it did not go very well. Can you Fury spam them? Okay, like they might have Purvane, but if you have Buna, you're just better off, right? I think that there's something to be said about using a ton of Buna, and the only thing you have to beat after is Forsaken of Slaanesh, which is not nearly as scary. Got this little speed demon over here. Maybe. Spawn and Pestigores. I don't think the Pestigores trade up enough. The 62 leadership is insta-route territory. Okay. Ulrich Wall has won his match and his opponent dropped, it seems. Dang. Alright, alright. One more match. I gotta win 2 more as Nurgle though. No more memeing. I am obligated to play 1 meme game though, so playing it against Slaanesh is not the worst. Don't they get ITP? When their leadership's higher than 50%. Which means they don't have ITP. Because ITP only matters when your leadership is lower than 50%. Technically, yes, they have ITP, but like it's only there to maintain Primal Fury slightly longer. It just says your Primal Fury will last a little bit longer, but like don't expect any magic in terms of holding power. Can we do a challenge where we win with Epidemius? I think we have a lot of other challenges to slowly work through first and foremost. Yeah, Buna is pretty... I feel like Buna would be pretty good into Slaanesh. Oh, Rogue AI, what's up? You could just spam plague drones against Slaanesh. I don't know how it would work versus the skirmishers, but you know, maybe if you take the death heads, they can kind of do damage there. I got plans though. We got plans. Okay, Maverick Sloth is done. Berserker's done. All right, advancing the Swiss. Goblins, round 3. We're up against Abdel. Yo, I'm Nurgle. Alright. Gotta redeem myself. Your first ban. Jade Tomb, Borderlow Landing, and Dunes of Cain. Okay. Gotta get rid of Rogue AI. We have our opponent to get in here. What's ITP? Immune to psychology. Makes your units immune to fear and terror. Fear is -8 leadership. Terror is what? Minus, is it -14? That seems a little extreme, but it's basically you get a terror route, which makes your unit route for 3 seconds, if they drop below a leadership threshold. Combined, your units will hold much better versus usual routing strategies that involve terror bombs. Because the usual strategy that people will go for, if available, is they'll have a single terror causing unit that's fast, and they'll kind of bounce around, terror route a bunch of units, and get loads of value. How do you see a unit's capture weight? You have to load into a domination game and then hover this icon. It doesn't work if you're not in game. Because the game's silly. I reported it to CA. I don't know if they'll ever fix it. It's a question only Tyrion could ask. Oof. Really, Rogea, you feel like Bretonnia versus Slaanesh is better for Bretonnia? I'll have to try that out at some point more. My win rate into Charix is not too great. Slaanesh into his Bretonnia, but it's also Charix. I feel like I would have a higher chance taking a game off of him than if he played Slaanesh into my Nurgle, though. Although, we'll have to see. Alberic plus Royal Pegasus Knights is basically unwinnable. Do you think you know how to play it on the Bretonian side well enough? I would love to get some practice in. But like I said, it's not really a matchup I played a lot. Bans Borderlow Landing. Are you... Your Wood Elves? Okay. These Wood Elves. Let's play Dunes. Nurgle versus Wood Elves. Alright, I'll figure it out. This time we ain't joking around. Alright, yo, if this game is fast and your match is fast, I'd be down to play. Just message in chat. I'm actually very interested to see if I can make something work on the Slaanesh side, because I've had ideas. Okay, Wood Elves. How do you beat Wood Elves as Nurgle? They have a lot of spooky cavalry. They have a lot of spooky range units. A lot of skirmishers. And they can just take massed amounts of infantry firepower too. Just Glade Guard, Starfire shafts into the horizon. Makes this a little sus, but Nurgle does have options. How do I feel about Forsaken of Nurgle here? I don't know. I feel like Forsaken of Nurgle just don't really cook. I think they're a fine unit, but there's nothing that can actually protect them. I feel like I might need something else. I might need a little something else. Alright, here we go. All right, we're entering fun build territory. It's dog spam? Maybe. Maybe we can spam the doggos. What will he even do? Late game versus Wood Elves. Wood Elves tend to just only spam cavalry and dryads in the late game. So there are a few options that should do fairly well against them. We're not gonna meme anymore. I'm not memeing. 1 million sweaty men. I feel like they have enough arrows to shoot down those sweaty men. Okay, alright. It feels like an incomplete build. This build doesn't feel like it's cooking in the way that I want it to. Okay. Okay. Now it's feeling like it's mildly cooking in the way that I want it to. Is this really it though? There's no way. Ain't no way I don't just die immediately. But what if I don't? What if somehow, some way, we can actually secure some Nurgle wins today? I gotta kill off so much cav, man. There's gonna be so much cavalry. Alright, here we go. If we die, we die. If we win, we will become gods. Gods amongst men. We shall have done the impossible. This is a really bad matchup. Do 4 Way Watchers delete 1 Furuncle? Yeah, man. Dude, 1 Horseman deletes 1 Furuncle. It's a bullet sponge. You really gotta give him some missile resist. Stinky gods, yes. Alright. There's only one way to play Nurgle, and it's to play it not like Nurgle in the slightest. So this is the plan. We must strike fear into the hearts of our enemy. He will likely deploy on this side of the battlefield, as this hill gives him a lot of power. Much strength indeed. But it will only end in his misery. Because I'm just gonna full rush him at the beginning. Okay, we have 1 million doggos. We have 1 million doggos. Oh, you went split. Okay. We have Buna. We have Furies. Now, where is his stuff? He has 8 units. He's gonna Waywatch volley me with dodge. We're gonna charge these guys, and then we're gonna go for him, man. We're just gonna go for it. I don't got no fear. We don't got no fear. We dodge. A glorious dodge. All right, there we go. Gonna, yep, bomb rush him. Just keep going. Just keep swimming. Gonna pull away from these Way Watchers real quick. Don't want to die to that. I'm gonna save my Buna for his super elite cavalry here. He's been pulling off some pretty good counter charges on me, but he doesn't really have the mobility here. Doesn't really have the mobility to cook me up. At least not too hard. Especially if I can get a solid enough charge on these Wild Riders, we may be okay. Big route on the flank side. We're gonna pull the Wild Riders through into presumably a bad situation. There they go. Nice. I'm gonna ignore the Way Watchers for now because their overall DPS is actually not too high. We're gonna get some horsemen in here. Charge those Wild Riders. Nice. Then we're going to get these boys over here. Those are more Wild Riders. We'll just rear charge them. Very nice. Okay, you know, it's actually looking not too bad so far. Yeah, he had triple Way Watcher, so that's actually really expensive. That is rather ludicrously expensive, my good sir. So if I just keep spamming my mobility here. There we go. We should be able to overwhelm them. He's summoning in troops to try and save the Way Watchers, but the troops are dying themselves. Very nice. Okay. Then we bring in the Cav, and then we go for this unit in the backfield. His Lord's also not being too useful either. That Buna is huge, by the way. I think you really need those Bunas to just delete any and all units that are too elite for you to kill, because Nurgle doesn't do anything versus elite units. Nurgle just can't kill elite units, period. But Buna can. There you go. Pretty good charge with the Furies. Let's keep bringing in the Horsemen. Gets Melkoths, unfortunately, on them. But they're gonna live. Looking pretty decent so far. I still got lots of Cav. Then once we kill off this here Dryad, I think we're good. Huzzah! Huzzah! Alright, you know what? Nurgle's a rush faction now. This is the most Slaaneshi Nurgle game I've ever played in my life. This point's not captured yet. That new UI is helping me out. There's only 20 tickets this game. Pretty funny. It's an Arrows of Kurnos. That don't matter. I got more Furies. Endless Furies. And he leaves. All right.
Glory is yours.
Huzzah. We did it. We won with Nurg. Okay, yeah. That Triple Way Watcher absolutely did not cook. And his Wild Riders just got massacred by Buna. Everything went basically perfectly for us. Alright. I'll call it a success. We beat Wood Elves. And they call Nurgle slow. Honestly, it's still not that fast. Like, Bretonnia's way more terrifying, but nobody expects it. They're not used to Nurgle going all out like this. God, that's silly. That's silly. All right, Rogue AI. You wanna face my Slaanesh's Bretonnia? Good. Now do it with Furuncle, please. As soon as Rogue AI finishes his game, I wanna see if his statement is true. I must know for myself. That was filthy, which for Nurgle usually means something else. I will say the Chaos Knights were very tanky. Chaos Knights did very well. They have so much HP, so much armor, that they generally are not going to be dying. The Furies are just Furies. I was thinking like we use the Warriors to hold points in the late game if the trading is close. But I mostly just wanted to spam Vanguard units to catch him out. Had he not taken so many Way Watchers though, it could easily go really south for me. But he would only have, like, even if he took 2 Way Watchers, it would be pretty sus. I think if he took 1 Way Watcher to start with, he'd still probably be able to summon them in to beat any stalling Nurgle type build. But, yeah. It's interesting. Fate of Buna's real funny. The thing is, I only get to cast it once. I get one cast of Buna and then it's over. Unless I take Arcane Conduit, I might need to just to have the magic to do anything. I think the Herald is ever worth it? I don't think so. Mad Lad is expensive. Although, I guess compared to the Nurgle Lord, he's similarly priced, and he can take Locus of Fecundity. What, that's 2,100 compared to... Okay, yeah, no, that's... Even if you're speccing this guy out, it's yeah, he's so expensive. That's insane. Yeah, you can have the Nurgle guy at 1,000, yeah, 300 gold more, but like you don't even need all this, right? If you took a slim down version of this guy, you can get him down to 1,200. Like basically nothing. But crazy. Yeah, I wonder if so I was thinking Slaanesh versus Bretonnia. I think if you go for a mobility max, what if you mobility max with Chaos Knights? Do they trade into Knights Errant? They might. They're gonna have a lot of Knights Errant. Well, like, what if you just spam Chaos Knights into Bretonnia? Is that insane? Chaos Knights are, like, not very good cavalry. But they're armored cav, which is, like... That's all you could really ask for, right? I guess Knights Errant are always going to be a pain. Unless Fiends cook Knights Errant. They're just bad, these guys. What if you Fiend spam? What if you just take a lot of Seekers? Well, they don't even trade well into Knights Errant, right? Yeah, I guess Knights Errant are always going to be a problem. I think you can probably punish the Yeoman plays at least. Bretonia's pretty fast though, so you can't smoke and mirrors speed boost them as hard. What's the point of the passive if you won't be able to take the 4th Buna, life leeching? Oh, I actually just didn't math it. Is that true? You can't get the 4th Buna? How much magic do you start with? Well, like, wait, how much is 4 Bunas? That's 88 wins. Oh yeah, you barely won't. Dang, that's sad. Don't Furies cook? Maybe? I feel like the Bretonnian Air Force beats Furies, but maybe they can counter each other. The other idea is like, what if you just spam armor? But no halberds means that Bretonnia is probably going to be fine. You want to start playing 1v1 and main Nurgle as a faction? How screwed are you? Very. Absolutely screwed. Although Nurgle is not the lowest win rate faction in the game right now. It's actually Chaos Demons. Nurgle is at a 48% win rate, which by many games is actually quite balanced. But if you look at their matchup spread, it is not balanced. 75% win rate against Tomb Kings, 71% against Skaven, 68 for Greenskins, 67 for Counts, 60 for Bretonnia. Meanwhile, at the bottom end, 0% for Slaanesh, 18% for Dark Elves, 28% for Wood Elves, raised only slightly by me just now, 31% versus Tzeentch, 33% for Vampire Coast and Kislev. So they're a very skewed faction. But I guess if you're new at the game, at least you'll have some matchups that will be really favored for you. All right, he's ready. I want to see if Slaanesh can beat Bretonnia with some crazy plays. I feel like, you know, I feel like if you take an army, like if you go mass Vanguard Furies, right? You know you're fighting Bretonnia. So, what if you take like Marauder Spearmen? And then you just say, screw it, I'm taking Seekers of Slaanesh. Or Mass Fiends. You know what? No, Mass Fiends of Slaanesh. So you start with 1,000,000 Fiends. Right, you have a bunch of Spears for anti-large. Ooh. Okay. You know what? And a Chaos Knight, because they're hype. You have a bunch of Furies, and you gotta chase off some Yeomen. So you just gotta speed boost them to death, right? And they just spam Seekers into the horizon. You just go no skirmishers. Sure, why not? I just gotta see for myself. I do think this is Bretonnia favored because of Knights Errant, but I don't know, maybe you can punish them for taking 2,000 gold worth of Yeomen at the start. I feel like you should be able to. Although I guess Yeomen are really cheap skirmishers. Why is Nurgle's win rate so good against Vampire Counts and Greenskins? So Nurgle has Kugath, which can outduel any Vampire Count single entity. He can kill 2 dragons like it's nothing. Against Greenskins? Oh dang, that's a thin army. Against Greenskins, I'm less sure. Maybe it's because Plague Bearers are hyped there. Okay, what is this? Okay, he did not go for the kite. This is some new shenaniganry. Shouldn't this be good for me? These are Royal Pegasus Knights. They're very expensive magic damage cavalry. Oh crap, he does have a caster. He's just gonna heal him up. That was a waste of magic then. I'll happily capture the points though. What's his caster on? A horse? Okay. This is a very different playstyle than what Charx goes for. I'm really interested to see how he contests the Fiends. Fiends are pretty menacing. He also doesn't have a Flock of Doomer guy. So I personally feel like this will be... I personally feel like this will be pretty sus for him. But I don't know, we'll see. He lands with his Pegasus Knights only to get mega charged. Ouch. Okay. I kind of misplayed my own units though. Get that rampage? Yep. Okay, so I lose a unit of Seekers, but he loses a unit of Royal Pegasus Knights. I guess that's okay. We both kind of misplayed there, which I guess fair is fair. Seekers do manage to escape though, that's hype. Very hype indeed. Royal Pegasus are going down. So we're just gonna run. Run from the Knights of the Lionhearted. Or is he gonna commit to this fight? I feel like that'd be pretty crazy if he did. Because then he's gonna get Fiend charged. Alright. So far, so decent. We're trading. I don't know, man. I feel like he just lost his Royal Pegasus Knights for nothing. I think this one is mostly coming down to, like, the gameplay mistakes I kind of reckon him. That makes life a lot more comfortable. Because I still have 1,000,000 Fiends. And he doesn't have the Knights Errant spam to really punish me either. I don't know. Anytime he lanes, as long as I have Fiends to counter charge, I'm feeling real comfy. He's gonna charge. Who's he gonna charge? I'm just gonna hit him with both at the same time. And we're gonna go here. Get a big surround on his Hippogriff Knights. This seems positively terrible for Bretonnia right now, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Fiends cook so hard, man. Yo, Fiends are cooking so hard. They're taking like no damage. They're definitely dealing a lot of damage. He's gonna get Alberic's wind spell over there. Okay. Gets a little bit of a leadership debuff. Not a big deal. I don't know. Yeah, these guys are just dead. Knights of the Realm are in though. They're a menace. He's gonna try and disengage with Alberic. If he does, I'll rampage the fool. Fiends are absolutely dominating. Yeah, for sure if he brings a bunch of expensive slow stuff, it doesn't really work well, right? Anyways, I think it was mostly just like, you know, he was a little too aggressive with his cavalry. That was not actually like a good analysis of the matchup. I feel like this is not a bad build, though. Do I even have a Slaanesh versus Bretonnia matchup? Yeah, it's this one. Alright, we're gonna see how it goes. That was a pretty big slaughter. I think I'm gonna go against the idea that this is worse than Slaanesh versus Nurgle. I think Slaanesh against Nurgle is like the hottest garbage. It may be the hottest garbage, but probably not. I'm sure there's something even worse, like Skaven versus Tomb Kings or something. Although Nurgle has very little counterplay. The only thing is, like, you have to know how to play Keep Away as Slaanesh and not fight Kugath, which is not something that comes naturally.
I am irresistible.
Yeah, Fiends are actually really good here. Most of the other cavalry dies to either spells or what have you. The Fiends, however, they're great. And then we have Pendulum to kill off peasants.
And your time has come.
I think we just field more cavalry than he can really deal with. I'm very interested to see, because I think it's what's it? I think it's been a thing that's been brewing around. Charix also mentioned that it's a bad matchup, Slaanesh versus Bretonnia, which means people are actually practicing it. And if they're practicing a specific matchup, I want to know. I want to know where things are going. Now, he's gonna summon in one human archer at the start. We can dodge him at least. Summons a second human archer. Okay. So the question is, how far into the back line do I want to go? The answer is as much as possible. We're gonna see if we can bully these guys. Fiends are fast, man. They are hella fast. Can I get that charge speed bonus on him here? We're kind of just distracting his cavalry while I kill his yeoman. Fiends have a really fast charge attack. I don't know what's with it, but when I'm charging with them with the with Melkoths, they get so much work done, it's insane. That's a pretty good pick on those spearmen at arms. And we get the Furies in here, nice. So there goes 1,000 gold, 1,500 gold actually. That's pretty rough. Although technically these guys are not off the battlefield just yet. Here's the thing though, we can charge these guys. We can charge them. You can't rampage them. The knights are tanky, they can just kind of chill. Alright, and then we see if the Fiends actually cook here. One of them die, so he trades one Royal Pegasus for a Fiend. Is it enough, though? Is it enough? I think he already took pretty massive damage, right? These guys are kind of just surrounded by Fiends right now. Gets an Earth Blood, though. Certainly very strong, but is it enough? I think that early loss of his Yeoman is just a little bit too much here. My Lord's just chilling. They don't care. Knights of the Lionhearted. We got tanky cavalry for them. 51 melee defense. Will actually be rather useful here. Although he is actually doing a lot of damage to my Lord. Bro's focus firing my Lord. What the crap? Okay, that's actually kind of crazy. He was hard focusing my Lord. Okay, we'll get one punch in on Alberic before disengaging. We get our spears in there. Masked Furies on his Royal Pegasus Knights. They just can't kill them all. Get a Pendulum on the Knights. Gotta be a little careful with my Lord here. Lord Throw could potentially lose everything. But I don't know. It still feels actually pretty decent for us. Look at Alberic. He's getting wrecked. Lord is totally fine too. And the Furies, they will eventually kill the Pegasus Knights. The Chaos Knights are actually kind of clutch here. That extra little bit of armor is so impactful. The armor and melee defense actually make them a holding cavalry unit. So you can hammer an anvil with them. As they were meant to be used, I guess. Anyways, Alberic's taking a million damage right now. He's been pushed all the way to the edge of the map. Honestly, not bad. I feel like this build is really good, especially because the Fiends can actually catch the Yeoman, which is quite the surprise. But this is just absolute devastation, right? Like he's just dead, man. There's nothing left except for one Spearman at Arms. The Slaanesh warriors like squires. Yeah, foot squires, I think they win against Slaanesh warriors. Okay, this is actually a pretty good build against Bretonnia, I feel. Maybe, you know, if it's like Charix and he has really on top of his game skirmisher micro, they never get caught. It's a little sus. But something about the Fiend charge animation is making them close the gap on Yeoman super well. And then it's basically an insta route. Guess the fan base has to practice this matchup a bit more. I feel like I would still lose to Charix. I think I would totally still lose to Charix. And I think if it was Charix versus Charix, he would win as a Bretonnian. But I think there's definitely room here for Slaanesh to do not bad. Especially because Chaos Knights are kind of clutch. Unless they die to Knights Errant. There's a chance the Mad Lad just switches to like a full Knights Errant build and then we lose. You know, but I think they also lose to Fiends. I think Fiends are the answer. They're just chunky enough. Though if they do get rear charged by those Pegasus Knights, you're screwed. But Pegasus Knights cost as much as Fiends anyways. Worst case scenario, you have your devoted Marauder Spears helping out. Yeah, this build, his build would be way better against like my other Slaanesh build. Like whatever this garbage is. What is this? Slaanesh versus Bretonnia weak? Yeah, that looks... Actually, that's actually kind of similar to this. Slaanesh versus Bretonnia. Yeah, it would do better versus like armor stack build, I guess. I think the through line of just spam Fiends is Not bad. Fiends. They're great. Interesting. Alright. Are Heartseekers banned? No, you can take them. But they die to Royal Pegasus Knights. Because the charge will just delete all their HP. Yeah, so Charix does have a lot more infantry to play around with. And a lot of yeomen. And he goes for Knights Errant instead of Elite Cavalry. That's the big question mark for me. Because the Bretonnians here are mostly suffering because they don't have anything to stop a countercharge. But I think as soon as, if they can ever occupy all 4 of my cav units, then I think it's over. So Azazel is not the way to go. I think this one right here. I think this is the build that might do it. It really depends though. Those Chaos Knights are definitely tanky, at least. And Charix isn't going to lose any of his Pegasus Knights. He doesn't commit his cavalry unless he knows they're gonna live. What a menace. What a menace. This ability helps a lot too, the Rampage. It makes it so the Pegasus Knights can't just camp above your units, but it ain't perfect. You're still gonna get charged. But make sure that they die. And you got the Malkoths plus Smoke and Mirrors. This build has a lot going for it. Is Azazel any good? I would say not really. He doesn't really have the mass to get through and kill single entities. I ran him against Vampire Coast in the SFT, and he couldn't kill a Leviathan, which is bad. I think Azazel needs to have... He needs to have some way of hitting and killing those big targets. Otherwise, potentially you can just get single entity maxed. Doesn't really have the HP, has no healing. I think Exalted Keeper is like the only lord you should ever take as Slaanesh. With like Sigvald being a very, very rare counterpick against some of the fattest lord snipes ever. But you need some pretty fat lord snipes to go for Sigvald. This just brings so much utility. Not to mention it's your only source of terror. Right? So if you go Sigvald, you don't have terror either. Yeah, I don't really see many matchups where we go Siggy. Unless, I don't know, like Dwarves. Maybe Dwarves. Even so, maybe not. Does Siggy really bring enough to the table? Maybe not. I feel like he just gets surrounded by Doom Seekers. Pink Olgor? Absolutely not. Not a Nakari fan. Oh yeah, Nakari is specifically for undead factions. Nakari in my head is just another Exalted Keeper of Secrets. but their healing mechanic is slightly different. Nakari's healing activates when a unit dies around them instead of while they're routing. So like if you're fighting undead, you bring Nakari, and that's the only difference. How'd you break a Bretonnian box with this build? I think with the Fiends. The Fiends are really good box breakers because of their low entity count. They don't get stuck as much as your cavalry. Although the severe lack of infantry can certainly make it a little sus. I think you would have to make some pretty sick plays. Like, you're gonna have to get a fine pendulum somewhere on the infantry line, bust in with the Furies, and then maybe you're okay. You're very prone to getting heavily outnumbered with this, but if you can jump the archers, I think all you really gotta do is route the archers. So like pendulum into Furies, Fiend charging to route the archers, disengage and then chase them off is a potential play. It's kind of like the Dark Elf box. Although the Dark Elf box is easier to route the infantry. Although Bretonnian infantry, you can route them even with the Grail Relic nearby. But yeah. It's a matchup we got to see a little bit more. Because I think with me being such a big Slaanesh main, people are starting to, or they probably already figured out a little while ago, different ways to fight against Slaanesh. Advancing the Swiss. Round 4 has begun. We're up against Pontim's Claw. Yo, I'm Nurgle. After playing Slaanesh, I gotta remember that I'm Nurgle now. Sorry, Rogue AI, gonna have to kick you. Alright. And yes, I'm still calling him Pontim's Claw, alright? I'm too used to saying that. Let's hear your first. If I win this, I get into tiebreakers. He's Dark Elves. Okay. Alright. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. He bans Imperial Ambush. Proving Grounds. A decent map. Chateau. Another decent map. Kind of big. Play Chateau. I'd rather play Proving Grounds. No, let's play Proving. Let's play Proving Grounds, just better. Alright guys, how do you beat Dark Elves? Dark Elves don't have ITP? Not that much ITP, no. They have a little, but not a huge amount. So obviously lots of Cold One cavalry. It's gonna be a lot of random infantry. Is it gonna Corsair kite me or what? What's the play? What's the mad lad gonna do? I feel like I am I'm a little worried about what the Dark Elves could potentially throw my way. They certainly have a lot of elite units. But I have shenanigans. Is this really what I want? Is this really how I want to play this matchup? Yo, Paragon of Decay is so bad. 150 gold from minus 5% damage. Garbage. Ultra garbage. Sorry, just managing. All right. All right, all right. Oh, I didn't give my opponent the lobby code. Silly me. Alright, Dark Elves. What are we supposed to do? Dark Elves are certainly very annoying. They have a lot of tools at their disposal. But Nurgle has... I don't know, man. I don't even know how Dark Elves play this usually. What do Dark Elves usually do here? What in the world do they even do usually? Actually, what do we see? Does he spam range? Does he go melee max? You like to take, you like Sigvald versus factions with a lot of shooting? I think, like, the thing is, those factions can also melee max, and if they do, you're screwed, right? Like, what if Kislev goes double Frostworm? What if Vampire Coast goes Crab Max, like Maximilianer did? I think you leave yourself, like, obviously, you know, against mass shooting, it's better to have a... It's just gonna be better to have Sigvald. But it leaves your build so open to get unscrewed. That ain't very pretty. What do I want, man? What do I even want? Okay, this is probably a good idea, I guess. All right. We've entered It's a Build territory. Very big It's a Build energy going on right now. Okay, sure, I can take that. You know what? Sure, I'll also take that. All right. All right. If we die, we die. That's what the Heart Seekers are for. Was this? Oh, to kill SEs, Heart Seekers for the Crabos, and then you go Siggy. I kinda see that. Shades and Crossbow Dark Riders would be very annoying. I think I'm ready for it. Azazel needs a Sword of Cain. Oh, dang. Be hype. Yeah, I guess if you have some super elite cavalry, you can deal with Crabos. I just feel so much safer with the Keeper of Secrets, though. Admittedly, I did lose because I did not summon enough fiends against the Vampire Coast. It's true. Here we go, redemption though. Win with Nurgle. Well, so I only summoned in like what, one fiend? I didn't summon I summoned 2 horsemen too that did nothing. Horsemen are surprisingly bad versus the Leviathan unless they're axe throwers. Had it been if it was one fiend, I think it would have done so much better versus the Leviathan. I think Slaanesh skirmishers suck, actually. I think they're garbage most of the time. Unless it's versus Nurgle, then they're amazing. Has the uncle been frunkling? I think he frunkled his last uncle. I don't know, man. Let's not go with that. But he died. The one game I brought him, he super died. So we're tryharding to get ourselves into the tiebreakers. Hey, Torrent said there'd be another faction war after the DLC, though. So, redemption with the update. Slaanesh has a high chance of being positively OP. We'll see. Okay, now call me crazy. But I think this is a sick build. It's a rush. It's a mobility rush. So, like, what's he supposed to do here? The toad rush? Like, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to deal with all these toads, right? Really curious. I think Slaanesh doesn't run the crossbows the same reason that they don't run the skirmishers. A lot of people said that the skirmishers would make Slaanesh broken. Okay, and yeah, like, Slaanesh is really strong with the skirmishers. But, like, the strongest part about Slaanesh is the fact that they can run you over. With just pure melee. They can catch other skirmishers with Melkoths. So, I don't know. I feel like most builds are not going to run the range unit. You zoomed out the camera, but it's really slow. You might have followed the tutorial wrong, I think. Because I think in the tutorial, it says how you're supposed to... Doesn't the tutorial say how you speed up the camera? I think it should. If it doesn't, it's in the same place where you got the camera zoom. You can, yeah, you can get that fixed. One axe thrower to jump the chariot. I don't care if the toads take damage from his skirms. The toads are just gonna pile on in. Get the Lord in there. Oh, one of the doggos got super low. Tiny bit unfortunate. As soon as I get that exalted hero, though, we'll be fine. So let's get the debuffs going. Debuff number 1 is active. Then we get a stream of corruption on him. That's gonna hurt. Toads for days. Just run them over, basically. That's the idea. Just get everything in there. And hopefully we can kill him. Okay, that was actually a pretty nice burning head. He actually routes off so many of my fools there. Jeez, he routes off a lot of guys. We can actually give my guy ITP though. I mean, not ITP, terror. We can make him cause terror. So at least I can route off these Black Ark Corsairs. Pushing with the rest of the boys. There you go, nice. Okay, that's pretty solid. Then we wanna Curse of the Leopard these guys. I do have a triple cap, and many of my forces will be beginning to rally, so maybe it ain't too bad. I just have to be really wary of these chariots. They're a big menace. Lord here, though, is definitely going to be able to heal everything up very nicely. Doggo Swarm is actually doing decently well, too. Value trading's not in our favor technically, but we are healing a lot. So I'm a little less worried because of that. This is actually a really nice stream of corruption too, hitting up all the infantry and the cavalry. And as long as the doggos don't get full routed, I think we're actually doing okay. The toad rush. The toads, they're cooking. It's hilarious because they actually have so much mass, the chariots can't move. Oh man, okay, there's Zarkan though. Back it up from Zarkan. We don't want to fight him. Can we just surround him with toads for life? Can I just toad swarm him? There's his passive. Let's keep healing. As long as I keep healing these guys, we're okay. One of the chariots do manage to escape though. little bit of a cav charge too. Can I curse of the leper? The toads maybe? Maybe kill his caster too, that'd be great. And then if we can get some elite cavalry in, then we'll have something to mop up. I did actually start coming back in terms of value trading. That's huge. Another debuff, another heal. Yo, these heals are gonna be sick, man. Ouch. Great burning head though from my opponent. His chariots cannot hold though. The chariots cannot hold. Zarkan is actually still bogged down by toads. He Infinity toads. Let's go. Get him, boys. Got the toad rush on him. Yo, poor Zarkan. He's getting absolutely toad maxed. Although a lot of my guys are routing now. That's not too pretty. Okay, little exalted hero is doing great though. Does actually resummon a chariot, which will be quite bad versus the rotting riders, I think. Okay, alright. Oh crap, Lord's kind of dying though. Oh, the toads. Okay, toads are still grinding. That's good. He has flaming sword. He brought flaming sword. Okay, but I have rotting riders now. Okay. Yo, the crazy flaming sword pick. It's actually gonna help them chunk through my boys ever so slightly. Dang, those chariots though. Can I save my lord? We're starting to down trade again now that my lord is getting surrounded. He has no escape, man. These Cold One Knights are really brutalizing him. His healing's great, but oh my god, he routs. He routs. It's okay. It's okay. We have a lot of stalling tools here, right? And he still has to chase down my lord. I just have to stall for the next millennia. So I think what that means is spamming toads. Spamming toads into the absolute horizon. And just stuffing them up forever. We're gonna ignore Zarkan to kill off his cavalry. Because the triple cap goes hard, man. In terms of how long it could stop my opponent for, potentially. We have our hero here. He's great. What's he summoning in? Yeah, Force is summoning Cold One Knights who don't have that much capture weight. There's a pretty good charge. We back up. We summon more toads. Let the toads ride. Toads are gonna have to go super hard. Lord will hopefully not die. If he routs here, that could be a big problem. Toads against the Scourge Runners, though. Not a chance. He's still triple capped, mind you. Okay, there we go. That should be a pretty good fight. Yeah, yo, the tankiness of the toads is holding. Very nice. Okay. We just gotta hold the middle with the toads. Yeah, look at them go. They're killing the chariots. Okay, they actually managed to rout off a chariot. Amazing. Then we're gonna get another toad. Endless toad action. Here we go. Even caught up some of his chariots here. So he's not capturing that point anytime soon. Gets the flaming sword. Does it do anything? Not especially. The stall toads are here doing fairly well for themselves. And then if I kill off these dread knights. Oh, those are dread knights? Okay. A little spooky. He's probably going to capture 1 point. But then if these guys get pushed off, he's pretty screwed, right? Oh, these are also dread knights. Dang. Yeah, he gets 1 point, but just the one. And we're already at 1,300 tickets. This is going to be a really close fight, ain't it? Because I think my lord... he lived. He lives. Get in there, toads. All right, here we go. Toad swarming the middle. If I keep fighting for the middle and he has to fight for it back, then he's pretty screwed, right? Yeah, we're shoving him off. Repeater crossbow's got nothing on these guys. They're terrifying. Look at them hop. Hibbity hop. Okay, very nice. The toads are actually doing pretty well. Dread Knights will probably go down. We actually chased off his crossbows with the Toad boys. Very nice. Dread Knights are down to the Rotting Riders and the Toads. Another heal drops. Oh my god, hell yeah. Now all I really gotta do is go to the middle. Dude, the mass on these guys. No number of chariots can ever get through. Just the pure Chungus. The true Chungus power on these guys. There you go. Let's get a little bit of damage reflect. Easy recapture coming on in. Lord is looking fine. That's the fastest capture I've ever seen. We got a million guys over here. Okay, maybe not the fastest capture. But we'll be getting there more or less. Here we go. And GG. Nice. Get toaded, son. All right. We made it to tiebreakers. It still stands, my statement that toads are very bad. Are you sure? Do you see those value numbers? Specifically against chariots, they were not bad. He did bring a cold one chariot though, which is a little strange. I think we ended up like hard counter building him, by the way. The surround on Malice Darkblade, also very jokes. Was this the best build in the world? Probably not. But it was pretty hilarious. I feel like the mass just made his chariots do nothing. And they were so cheap that they were not even worth shooting, really. With said chariots. I'll take it. Nurgle prevails versus the Dark Elves. Nurgle actually OP. That's dope. Oh boy. Alright. Who's in the top players? So, Navigator, myself, Berserk, Ulrich Rawl, and Potatoes Devil. Yeah, Pox Riders can definitely put in work, but I think they're also not perfect. Yeah, Malice and the Dread Knights. One Dread Knight did get a lot of value, but in general, they were just kind of getting swarmed by such large numbers. I will say my dogs were not very useful this game, though. They were more for a different type of battle. Because they did not hold up the chariots in the slightest. They just got run over. Could have replaced them with like a whole Chaos Knight lance. And as long as you don't get shot too much, I think it would be quite good. Malice Darkblade, though, had no agency. He was just running around trying to get anything done. The entire fight. Almost lost my lord, though, but they did come back. Early triple cap, man. Early triple cap is hype. That was a silly game. That was a very silly game. I wonder if we can beat Slaanesh with Warhounds. Do you guys think the Warhounds are at all useful versus Slaanesh? I'm thinking probably not, because I'm pretty sure they rout immediately. It takes about a quarter of their HP to go away before they rout. At 38 leadership, Nakari standing beside them already will reduce like half of that at full HP. So probably not them. I think probably not them. But then what are we to do versus Slaanesh? I could go for the air game as was suggested. Technically you can't rampage all of them. So if you take just Nakari and you're running against 2 Death Heads and 1 Plague Drone, you know, yeah, if you go triple Death Head, they might not have enough rampage effects. Cultist with the summon. Do you put him on a mount? I haven't played with them much. I feel like they lean too hard into Nurgle's usual counters, which is just a lot of ranged firepower. One of the best animations in the game is Plague Toads eating Dowie. Yeah. They just gobble them up. Honestly, pretty strong day for Nurgle so far. But I think the tiebreakers is probably where we're gonna get knocked out. I think against like the top players. Unless I'm a Nurgle main, it's probably gonna be pretty bad. I feel like maybe you can... Okay, if you feel like you are the better player and you can micro really well, can you beat Slaanesh? If you feel like... If your micro is absolutely on point, right? Do you have a chance? How expensive is this? It's pretty expensive, right? But they will only have so many rampages. So like, what if you just do this, you know? And then you take your caster with this Buna. Right? Slaanesh is stuck using... Yeah, you can actually do this. So you Spirit Leech, you know, Nakari. Right? Yeah, you can Spirit Leech Nakari. You can counter charge with the Plague Drones. You're playing on your side of the field. Take evasion on this guy so he's even faster. So he doesn't immediately die. Yeah, you know what? This is actually... I feel like this is... You know, I think in the hands of a good Slaanesh player, you're still absolutely doomed. But if you had to Hail Mary it, this feels like the closest thing. It's gonna be pretty bad though, right? It's gonna be pretty bad no matter what. Okay, let's see. So Big H actually has to win this next match if he wants to get to he didn't. He lost to Potatoes Devil. Slaanesh is out. No more Slaanesh in the tournament. Dang. Holy crap. That's news to me. Are Sneaky Gets able to throw weapons if they stay behind Chaos Dwarf infantry frontline? Not entirely sure. A lot of people don't bother with that because they have such low ammunition. So I'll settle with I don't know. Because a Berserk and Maverick Sloth is still fighting. Who's close to making that? So what? This Pontim's Claw, who lost to me, who is not going to make it because they lost to me. Dang. Dang, that's rough. Ah, they face Navigator. So then there's Berserk and Maverick Sloth. Maverick Sloth only has 2 wins. Berserk already has 3. So if Berserk throws, Maverick Sloth has a chance to make it. Otherwise, Berserk wins and he gets 4. Then you have Lazuka, who, if they win versus MV76, they could actually make it to tiebreakers. Dang. Interesting. Then I think those are the main contenders. Yeah, I think those are the main contenders. All right. Can you show us the camera settings, please? It's not in game. I can find it though. Let me see. Warhammer. So you go to your Warhammer, you go to, I believe, scripts, and then preferences.script. And then you want to go to, you want to control F camera, I think. Where is it at? Yeah, I have a camera move speed of 150, a camera turn speed of 5, cinematic smoothing -5, default camera type 2, scroll mouse wheel sensitivity 50. That's what I have for my debug camera. Works very well for me. If you want it to go faster, you can always hold shift, by the way. That helps. Berserk wins versus Maverick Sloth, knocking him out of the tournament. Brutality. Into the pits with him. But will Lazuka make it? Standard or classic camera? Whatever 2 is. This is the whole video, man. I think I go over it all in the video. If I don't, this is my bad, but... Don't edit the camera settings in battle, by the way, otherwise it will glitch out. Oh wait, no, standard and classic are 2 different things, right? Oh wait, I forget. Are you supposed to? Okay, you know what? I'll double check. I don't know, I can't even find it, man. Whatever default battle camera type is, set it to 2. I guess like maybe, wait, no, I think in here there is a setting, isn't there? I like never go back here. What is it in controls? Standard camera. There you go. There we go. I figured out what you were talking about. We got there. We got there. My bad. Any recommended spells to bring against dwarves and Khorne as Empire? Empire, you can run Plague of Rust if you want your cavalry to actually deal damage. Other than Plague of Rust, Pit of Shades is like okay. You know, against Khorne, you actually don't care about the magic resist that much. Still run Melkoths. Still run Melkoths. Although you'll have way fewer targets just because the roster's kind of built that way. But what does Khorne usually feel? I don't know. You usually want to kill infantry, right? Or like chaff, or it's either chaff or mega elite dudes. Melkoth is pretty good though. You can't go too wrong with it. Against dwarves though, probably not Melkoths. I'd go Pit of Shades or Burning Head. Burning Head is really good for killing off bugmans. But if that's not good enough for you, Transformation of Kadan is not bad. And just chuck a Manticore at them. Shield of Thorns versus Wrathmongers. Fun fact, Shield of Thorns gets spell resisted by Khorne spell resist and Dwarf spell resist. Though if they're Wrathmongers, if they're not paying attention with the Wrathmongers and they just eat it, it is not the worst. And yeah, Purple Sun's not bad versus dwarves. Especially against slayers. It's a nice slayer killing tool. Alright, this round should be done soon. This round should be done very soon. We just have to see. We just have to see if Lazuka manages to barely make it to the tiebreakers. Will they? Yeah, I will say on Shield of Thorns versus Wrathmongers, it's like a fun idea and it works in testing, But there's a reason why, like, Wood Elf players are not spamming Shield of Thorns versus Khorne. Because the true counter to Khorne is to just not fight them and kite them to death. The only faction that runs the Reflect abilities is Nurgle. Because they don't have a lot of options. It's either that or Curse of Death. And then, yeah, you can run Curse of the Leper. Even so, Spirit Leeching someone like Valkyrie to death is not the worst. Come on, Lazuka. Let's see, MV 76. Yeah. We're just waiting on Lazuka to see if we have one last person that makes it to tiebreakers. You guys think we're gonna win with Nurgle today, by the way? Is today the big day? Or are you doubtful? I feel like Nurgle's totally gonna crush it. You know, this new mobility style, indestructible. You can hear the confidence in my voice. Yeah, totally. There you go. Obese chicken. We got obese chicken to at least pretend that we have a chance. Yo, what's Berserk playing? What's Navigator playing? Those guys are scary, man. Ulrich Wall, Berserk, Navigator, and Ulrich Wall, all terrifying. I haven't even faced them because we lost so early on. Let me see. What they declare. Ulrich Wall is playing Vampire Counts, which is a perfect matchup for Nurgle. Berserk is playing Warriors of Chaos, which is... I don't even know how that matchup pans out. Navigator's playing Chaos Dwarves. All of these are actually not the worst. It's over. No. Okay, yeah, maybe Chaos Dwarves and Warriors of Chaos could be bad. I think Warriors of Chaos is just gonna horse skirmish me to death. Unless I have some sort of counter. Which you never know. Maybe we will. Is there like some rogue Nurgle? I'm so surprised Nurgle doesn't have a slow on the lore of Nurgle. That's kind of crazy to me. They could use a slow so bad. Why doesn't Nurgle have like an 80% slow or something? So you can actually catch skirmishers? Nope. I guess, yeah, they only have Fate of Buna. Alright, Ulrich Wall has dipped and Lazuka is out. Alright. So if Ulrich Wall is out, Lazuka's also out. Let's see. Tiebreaker time. Dang, okay. At Ulrich. No, Ulrich Wall's out. Okay, so it's just 5 people then. Sick. Advancing to the top 4 we go. All right. Tuesday SFT. At Navigator, you're versus me. At Potatoes Devil versus at Berserk. Ulrich dropped. All right, here we go. I see, I see. It was Potatoes Devil that made it to the top 4, right? So we don't even get a tiebreaker. That's how good Nurgle is. We made it to top 4. Semi-final Nurgle game. I only have to win 2 more then. Potatoes Devil. All right. Yo, yo. Face me, Navigator. Face me. What was Navigator? Was he playing Chaos Dwarves? Please tell me he's playing Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves, let's go. What are we banning? What, Hashit's oil fields? It's a pretty big map. Is that better or worse for Chaos Dwarves? Isn't Changer's Madhouse also insane? Oh, that's the massive one. Then again, do I want massive? Nah, I really don't want to play Changer's Madhouse. I'd rather play Hashit's Oil Fields. I don't know why, but something is compelling me. Just the Slug Curse. Slug Curse builds up really slowly, sadly. It's not bad, though. Ogre Kingdoms have a better slow, in my opinion, though, because it deals damage. Feel like, you know, if it's not in the lore that they don't have a spell that slows, you could give it an ability. Like, you know, if dwarves have Flash Bomb, right? If dwarves have Flash Bomb, Nurgle should have some sort of Flash Bomb-esque ability, right? Okay, now how do you play versus Chaos Dwarves? As Nurgle? We certainly have a few options. I think the ability for him to just kite like a mad lad is definitely there, right? He can bring a million skirms and then with sad. You can always make it an ability for heroes. CA have so many tools to make. I don't think the lore is the only thing holding the game back. I blame CA. Alright. How do you kill Chaos Dwarves in this day and age? We'll start with this. How do you kill Chowie? Oh, actually, I know these are pretty good versus Chaos Dwarves. And you want a bunch of these. Okay. Do I Toad Rush them? Toad Rush every single game? Plague Toads are pretty funny. What do Chaos Dwarves do versus Plague Toads usually? I don't know. Maybe they are hype. Maybe they are. They could also be absolute hot garbage. But let a man experiment a little. Okay, alright. I have a build. It is a bit of a strange one. But I have a build. Chaos Dwarves really rely on their light cavalry to get work done. And they don't hold up super well versus Nurgle cavalry, right? So they kind of have to go back onto their shooting, like their artillery pieces and such. And that is where victory shall be had. Our Marauder Horseman throwing axe is good here. Are they at all any good? Maybe in some situations. Are doggos good here? Are dogs at all useful? I feel like he's gonna have trains, man. I feel like the guy's gonna train me. Purple Sun for Fireglaves and Angels for trains, and they're probably cooked. I don't think this is doomed for Nurgle. I might be bringing a garbage build, though. I'm looking at it. It does not fill me with confidence. Okay, I guess I can get this. I guess. Okay, alright. You know what? It's... The build gets somewhere. The build is like... I can feel the pieces are there. None of them are like S tier. But I think the build, it works in theory. Like, it all kind of comes together really well. In practice, it might be absolute garbage, but we'll see, we'll see. Does our build spark joy? I think the build sparks joy. It doesn't spark confidence, but it sparks joy. No, I'm not running Uncle for Uncle. Oh, man. Yo, if I was able to win that game against Slaanesh, that would have been so sick. Okay, so similar idea to last time as against the Dark Elves. I think if I get some early captures here, right? If we can get a couple early captures. With the toads. With the help of the toads. Then maybe we can get somewhere. Now, he could just have a bunch of skirmishers. If he does, we can weather the storm decently well with all this. Ready, good luck, have fun. We can weather the storm decently well. I do have Furies. I don't think Horsemen will be that great. But I do have Chaos Knights to counter any mobility he decides to field. Exalted Hero for trains. What's not to love? What is he at? Final Transmutation, Searing Doom. 7 units. He has a Death Shrieker and an Iron Demon. And Zaytan. Honestly, pretty chill, right? That is not a whole lot of stuff. Okay. So I should, in theory, be able to just get in there then, right? Just make sure that his little train here doesn't cause too much of an issue. Dodged his Death Shriek. Just gonna chill here with the toads. Then we're gonna just swoop in. Hopefully cause some issues. Look at that. They're yeah, they're just grinding. Now I have my flyers here. He does insta out the Pestigores because they're garbage. But looky here. Why does he have to defend this thing? Deathstreak is kind of in a sus position. I can actually just ignore this infantry core and go straight for the Deathstreak. Then we have our Angels of Decay here. Pestigores rallied too. That's not too bad. An early triple cap puts him in an awkward position. Gets a breath attack, not too much deeps. Then we just kill the Deathstreak, I think. Yeah, I think we just kill the Deathstreak. Bring in some skirms over here. Yeah, there we go. Gets in the blunderbusses. Gets a net, but it don't matter. Because we are already right on top of him. Thank goodness for Purple Sun. Although he might rout the Rotting Riders. He loses his super duper elite blunderbusses. Not a very pretty situation at all. That was a golden Purple Sun, man. I think that Purple Sun could not have been better. Come on, Rotting Riders, live. Let's get him in. Let's get the skirms over here. Some Furies, because I misclicked. Hey, Rotting Riders actually lived. That's huge. And we killed off his artillery piece. Yeah, he has so much money over here. And so much money in range units. I think he's just going to get screwed by that. He's going to lose his sorcerer too. No final transmutation. Actually, pretty good rush showing from the Nurgle side. Look at that. This is actually a very successful game. Angels of Decay, clutching it. Yo, we're doing it. With the Plague Toads, the bullying Zaytan even. I don't even know how that's possible, but the bullying Zaytan. He can't escape, he's poisoned. He's slow. Oh my god, bro. Sick. Huzzah! GG. Alright. Well, that was fun. 1700 on these guys. Bro got hard rushed, man. He got super rushed. That Purple Sun deleted his army. Easy peasy. Alright. Very nice. Yeah, he had no army. Well, he had like... What? He spent... Honestly, if he just spammed skirmishers, I feel like that would be way more annoying. Yeah, Death Streak is 1300. And then he had like a Dwarf Warrior and the Blazing Beards on the flank. So he lost like almost 3,000 gold to units that could not melee. And then we were super well adapted to counter his cavalry. Then it's just Zaytan and the caster. But they died to the Angels of Decay. He definitely just had a really bad build versus ours. I don't think he was ready for the big rush. Oh yeah, and he took a train, which couldn't do anything versus the Toads. He was really speccing to deal with mass infantry. He wasn't ready for the Toad support. Like, all of this did nothing. Although these guys were just out of position. I think he should have noticed the threat. Bless the dark gods for that Purple Sun buff a while ago. That's true. It does more damage now. Purple Sun is sick now. Alright. So I'm up against Potatoes Devil and Berserk. Whoever wins. So Potatoes Devil. Berserk is playing Warriors of Chaos. Potatoes is playing Dark Elves. Okay. I think I can beat Dark Elves. I'm a little worried about Warriors of Chaos though. How would you beat Warriors of Chaos? Do we go for the Rot Knight spam? Are they gonna have Archie? I feel baited by the thumbnail. I did run them once, but it was so bad. It was so bad, I don't think I could have won with it. I wanted to try and get it done today. There's just no opportunities. Maybe I can take the Thunderguff. Thunderguff has 15% missile resist. Do these guys have magic damage? They do. No wonder they're so good versus Nurgle. The Great Unclean One doesn't have missile resist. He only has physical resist, which is so garbage, by the way. Because it means that he's just a 50 armor bullet sponge against the magic damage skirmish cav. Against vampire counts, yeah, you could do it versus vampire counts. Even so, it's non-optimal. But if you have the Angels of Decay and Kugath, you're probably winning versus counts. Gotta lose for content. Gotta get the content loss. Warriors of Chaos is the matchup for Bilious. Is it? Warriors of Chaos? He's gonna bring like 6 skirmishers. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do against 6 skirmishers there. Unless I have some really good Marauder Horseman Axe Thrower micro. So I get, yeah, just counter skirmish and then let the Bilious murder. It does have missile resist, 15%. We'll see. Dark Elves should be less of an issue. We know that the Toads are actually decent versus their Chariot spam. Pestigores are surprisingly bad though. They route to everything. They just don't have the leadership. Yeah, they have the HP, but I don't know, man. Do they suck? They almost cost 700, and they're always running, man. They're only good versus factions like Dwarves that don't have a lot of terror bombing. Remember when Dwarves could bring Ghost Heroes? Those were the days. I'm really not liking them. Forsaken have very little HP and only 70 leadership. Better than the Pestigores, but still pretty garbo. Warriors of Nurgle have 75 though, along with a lot of mass. The downside is they are slow as butts. Didn't notice a breakable wall in Silksong. Rip DB. Yeah, I've been playing so much Silksong, it's been great. No spoilers, by the way. If anyone types spoilers, you know what to do, mods. Get the hammer. Get the hammer. Let there be blood. Okay, seriously. What am I to do? Warriors of Chaos. If I was Warriors of Chaos, what would I do? I would spam Doom Knights. And then I would take a million horsemen. Okay, so if I was facing this as Nurgle, what the crap do I do? The Toads do not cook versus Doom Knights. They absolutely get murdered by these guys because of that magic attack. They got fire damage, they got anti-large. Yeah, what do I do versus Doom Knights? Why Doom Knights? Because they're OP. They are super buffed right now in today's meta. I can Buna them? I guess I can Buna them. Are Doom Knights even good? Bro, they got so buffed. What do you mean? Unless they fell out of the meta, but after the buff, they were everywhere, man. Oh, is this a campaign crowd? Is this a campaign crowd that doesn't appreciate Doom Knights? Great weapons. I call everyone them because I don't know if they're a boy or girl on the other side. And then I just default to it, even if I am like very sure that it's a guy, I just say them by default. Because like them can be used in like every situation. It's just easier for me. 'Tis all, 'tis all. Doom Knights, they're very squishy. They can be quite squishy, but I think Nurgle doesn't really have the killing power for them. As if there is a single girl here. I think statistically there's probably 3. Just use dude, it's gender neutral. This guy. Okay, I do say this guy a lot, even if they are a girl. I think saying this guy is my gender neutral. Oh, wait, anyways. What am I? Oh, yes. Doom Knights. Counted to Doom Knights. So you can do the thing where you overwhelm the ground force, kind of like how Slaanesh does it versus Bretonnia. If I take a million Rot Knights, a million Rot Knights could possibly cook. I do think they die, though. And they are more expensive, which is really bad. You would need even more guys. Oh, jeez. It's Berserk. Okay, so I am playing Warriors of Chaos then. Ragnarok Lair is not bad. Celestial Lake is not bad. I'll ban Skollandir's Cave. Oh boy, it's time. 2 million Rot Knights. Maybe? Like, Rot Knights are good, but I don't think they cook. I don't think they cook. Debuff blob with the cultist. That doesn't do anything though. They'll still just kill me. Doom Knights are crazy, man. Doom Knights are crazy strong. Terrified of them, if you could not tell. Spending is a bit too high. I guess I can do this. Huh. Yeah, like Chaos Knight Lances also die. The Nurgle debuff blob is like minus 50% weapon strength though. Okay, I guess if they literally have no horsemen, maybe. Maybe you could do it. Isn't it only temporary though? The minus 50% weapon strength? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the if they still kill my units even at half damage. The reason I'm so skeptical is because I've done it before. Because I think I've done it before. I don't remember it being too pretty. Okay, so Warriors of Chaos. I have this. It's a build. Now, how many horsemen am I gonna have to fight off? It's the real question. How many darn Marauder horsemen are we gonna have to fight? Poison Warhounds don't kill horsemen, which is problematic. It's perma. They wouldn't dare go skirmishers. Yes. Truly magnificent play. Okay, seriously, what is here to kill skirmishers? I keep looking around, but to no avail. Okay, I know people are like, they love the Noxbringer, but Noxbringer is not gonna cook here. I really don't want to take dogs. I really don't want to spam doggos. Anything but doggo spam, please. Man, what is chat talking about? Languages? Anyone think a toad dragon is good? No, that's also asking to get skirmed to death. What if I do spam plague toads and just slowly chase the skirmishers? No, they would die to the Doom Knights. So in this case, they're not the way. What if I do take the Noxbringer? But a single Noxbringer? What's the problem with that? We got distracted? Ain't no problem, man. Alright, this build is so bad, but it's the only thing I can think of. So we're doing it. I think there's a chance that he misbuilds against me and we win, and that's like my only out. You double toed dragon? Actually, wait a second, can I run this? Man, I just have no mobility. I feel like I need Cav so bad. But I know the Chaos Knight Lances don't cook. Okay, you know what? I'll take one of these. Alright, now we're ready. Now I'm ready. Nurgling Horde. If only Nurglings could uptrade. Nurgling's downtrade so bad, man. Only good for capture rate, those guys. Lost against Coast with Slaanesh. Dude, it's a low blow, man. That's a low blow. I gotta avenge myself. I'm convinced I would have lost to Charix's Wood Elves anyway, so it's fine. But that was pretty rough upset. Could try and take all his points and stuff him back. Horseman DPS is high enough to murder everything. Also, this is a very, this map has close capture points. So at most I could capture 2 points. Home points are very well defended. I got a strat though. I think if my opponent is very ill prepared, I think my build has a lot of things that just check to see if he's ready or not. And if he's not ready, we win. Easy peasy. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. Have you tried magic? Sometimes I don't. He's ready. Final game of the day, people. Get ready for a showdown. All right, Liam. Let's let's not get that aggressive against the people who take their time to play in my tournaments. All right. I think there's a line that we draw. I know you're kidding, but it doesn't. Just because you're kidding doesn't mean that you can say whatever you want, man. Ready, good luck, have fun. All right, here we go. The Dragon Ogre Cook? Less so. Interesting. Horseman of Tzeentch. Yeah, no problem, Leo. Don't worry about it too much. So I do have the Noxbringer. He only has 10 units. Rot Knights regenerate, so they can tank a little bit of skirmishing. And then I have the Dread Chosen of Nurgle.
We have
with
the victory point.
whoopsie daisies.
Keep it from the
With
foe.
Fate of Buna. Interested to see how he handles the situation. Marauder Horseman of Zinch is pretty wild. Throwing axes, horse masters. Is it just a kite build, or does he have something crazy lined up for me? Man, this really is my whole army, isn't it? Well, okay. In this case, horsemen are not the worst because he really doesn't have that much here. Ah, crap, I misclicked again. You know what? Furies are not the worst. Yeah, I do kind of wonder. What's he cooking up? Oh, these are for fire damage. Oh, that's kind of jokes. Yeah, what's he cooking up here? Furies are not the end of the world. I kind of wish I had another skirmisher, but... Oh, that's final transmutation. I see. Oh, the dodge is good, though. Rancid visitations. Interesting. So this is a kite game through and through. We are just gonna counter kite with slightly subpar kite. If I micro my horsemen well enough, it ends up being kind of just like an even back and forth, and we don't have to worry too much. A lot of his ammunition is being burned in the skirmish fight. And if we keep dancing, we'll be comfortable. He has double caster too, which is really expensive. And with the Rot Knights in position, it's not too bad. Look at that. Good damage mitigation. Lots of dancing and prancing. There you go. Very little damage overall has been dealt. Now, I don't have healing for these guys outside of Fecundity. They do not regenerate, so they gotta be a little bit more careful. Double cap is good, though. Gonna get another Marauder Horseman. Gonna pressure these guys back. We'll be pushing over here. Get the dodge. Solid charge. Okay, you know what? It ain't too bad. Look at that. A little bit of deeps. These guys will be shooting soon. So we dodge. Pretty decent dodge. Honestly, his DPS is very low this game. I'm kind of wondering where the rest of his units are. He has like 2 units in stealth somewhere, which worries me mildly. Does he have like some Hellstriders in the bushes or something? We'll see what we can spot with our Furies here. As it stands, though, we're kind of just chilling, right? You know, just continuously dodging back and forth. He does have a mild advantage just by range here. But it ain't too bad. We even catch a few of his skirmishers too. Nice. A few skirmishers get a little caught up because of our slow. That's rather nice. That means we can actually push for some space. And then he goes for Aeson the Fallen. That's a mad lad maneuver right there. Aeson the Fallen against all this. I have 4 skirmishers. Man of the people, that's for sure. I have 4 skirmishers and a bunch of single entities. Now, I do have to be wary of Aeson. He's pretty beastly, right? What's this guy doing? Was he gonna Rancid Visitations me or something? Interesting. Chosen are in the bushes. He's chilling. He's using up a lot of ammunition, though. What are those? Just Chaos Trolls? Okay. Not a big deal. Now, I don't want to overextend here with my Chosen. That would be bad. Oh, crap. He used Aeson's ability on me. Okay, thankfully it doesn't bounce very far. But that was actually pretty nasty damage. Yeah, he's using Aeson purely for kite. Using that spreading Buna-esque ability on him. That's pretty brutal, actually. Okay, I should go for a triple cap then, right? I think we should just go for it. Before Aeson manages to get too much value here. I think we can at least bully these fools over on the flank. Aeson ain't too bad. I gotta make sure we don't overcommit here, but That's pretty easily done. Let's see if we can kill these guys. And then we just shoot them up. Man, thank goodness that ability didn't do too much damage. I forgot that he could do that. Very spooky indeed. Alright, nice. So this is going to get me some solid skirmishing value. And then we bring in the Thunder Guff. The giant. Because he's actually running kind of low on ammunition now. So the giant would legitimately cook him. Gotta make sure that ability doesn't cook me alive. Hell yeah, my knights, they're doing good. Couple Hellstriders, not a big deal. Alright. He whiffed. He hit the Furies and nothing else. Okay. That's not bad. Big Hellstrider route too. Nice. Oh no, that was the Marauders. Still not too bad. You can probably sandwich these fools too. Just have to stay away from the Marauder great weapons. But it seems like, you know, we're doing decent. The Giant has arrived. His abilities on cooldown. Alright, here we go. Just gotta deal with Aeson. Just Aeson the Fallen. Just a wee little Aeson. His skirmishers are totally empty though. He's out of skirmishers, man. That's a nice time for me. My skirms are cooking. We got our ogres coming on in. Value-wise, we are behind, but I have a lot of tickets. So it ain't too bad. Marauder great weapons are not the best here. Gotta keep these knights alive though. If they die, it's real bad for me. Because they are expensive. Pricey. Giant's coming though. Giant will be able to cook them up. Ogres are here too. That's a final transmutation. Ouch. Okay. Can I pull it out? Okay, get out of there. If I disengage from the final transmutation, it doesn't stick. He does rout off my units though. And he does hit the Chosen also with that brutal spell. Here's the thing though, I have a giant. I have a giant. Jeez, that value though. Holy hell, that value. What the crap? Bro, he just mega value traded me. And this giant is not even here yet. Wow, lost the Exalted Hero to Rancid Visitations. How does he have so much magic, bro? Some Tzeentch trickery indeed. Okay, the giant is in. The giant is in. We're gonna hit these guys up. Gonna charge the doggos. And then we're gonna bring in some Furies. Losing all of my cavalry is definitely a rough time, but the giant, it should be able to cook relatively hard here. Ogres are definitely gonna do well in this position, right? But man, he gets another one of those mini Bunas on me. Jeez, the pain. Oh, there go my horsemen. There goes Aeson. I sure hope the giant can cook. If the giant doesn't absolutely dumpster everything, we lose. But he doesn't, you gotta remember, he doesn't have his skirmishers here, right? So Aeson might actually be able to cook decently. I mean, not Aeson, my giant. Look at this guy, he's so dead. Dude, we're getting annihilated now. Okay, maybe I can heal. Heal with the giant. Regroup. I'm so out of units though. I have nothing, bro. I guess I haven't been summoning much. We can get another elite cav unit in, I guess. Alright, giant. This one's on you. The Thunder Guff. Does he cook? I suspect probably not. But as I always say, you never know. Jeez, his spell casting hurts though. He doesn't have anything I can really Buna, does he? He's given me 0 Buna targets. He's been playing this really well. Here come these guys. Some Hell Striders. Bro, I got army wiped, man. What am I supposed to do? Buna the Hell Striders? 3 Bunas, that's all I got. Triple capped. Sad. This giant did not cook, by the way. Oh boy, that giant. I don't know what the crap he was supposed to do. Crap, that's a Searing Doom. Oh. Yeah, I should have just spammed Bune on his cavalry, but he kept them at really good HP, so I didn't really have a good opportunity to do that. Maybe I can at least resecure this point. You know, maybe if this thing just kills all the trolls. Non-zero chance that it manages that. Dude, Aeson, though, to win the skirmish fight is crazy. Aeson's pretty sick for that. I only have 1 more Buna, so we will use all of our magic before the end of the battle. But, yeah, literally nothing to deal with this guy. What a menace. Get him, giant. Is a giant not a miracle worker? You know, I guess he got okay value. I'll give him that. All right, let's get the Bune off. There's no killing this though. Dang, man. It happens. I don't think there's much Nurgle can do versus this based off vibes. I guess, I don't know. It wasn't even his skirmishers that killed me, right? It was just Aeson being such a menace. Unless I have like some crazy SE squad to kill him. Do the 1 Hellstrider too. Rip giant. I guess he got his value back. Marauder Horseman unfortunately did not. And yeah, this guy's going down. You know, making it to finals with Nurgle is not the worst though. Dang, that was brutal though. GG, well played. Congrats to Berserk. Congrats to @Berserk for the Warriors of Chaos win! Exclamation mark. I think Aeson is a really cool tech. The Tzeentch Sorcerer of Metal plus Chaos Sorcerer Lord is really interesting. I wonder why he has both. I should look into that. I don't think he needed the Marauder Horseman of Tzeentch or the Horseman of Nurgle, but it's fun having the fire and the poison effect. It's just gold chevron trolls. Dang, no wonder he had so few units. But in the end, yeah, my horsemen, they only got okay value. The ogres only got okay value. There's nothing I could do versus this guy who did pay for himself. If I didn't lose all my cavalry early on, I think that would have been my one shot. Rather slow guys though, still can't fight Aeson. I think, you know, weirdly enough, a Tarmacon might have been interesting, but GG. GG. I'm going to see real quick. What did he take on those guys? What is the tech? So you bought a Lord of Nurgle. Maybe just for anti-sniping? Yeah, the final transmutation, that was huge. I think he played it well. And then he had a Lord of Tzeentch. Did he Skull of Katambi? I kind of missed it. Yeah, I guess he just had the Tzeentch caster for just a tech, just the transmutation. It was not the most efficient build though, but I think Aeson was smart. Aeson just paid for himself. Huh. I think the late game was rough though. I do think his build would have been... I guess it depends on how hard Tarmacon goes. So if Tarmacon just gets shot to death here, it doesn't matter, right? You can't go SE squad against this. Unfortunately, the Exalted Heroes didn't really cook. Does Nurgle have like a big beast? Not the beast of Nurgle, but like just a big boy to fight Aeson? I guess it would be the Toad Dragon. So if you don't run Tammy, you can just run a vanilla Toad Dragon and just try and duel it. It is cheaper. Could even just go for the Fat Rush. Could have gone for the Toad Rush, actually. Nah, he had Hellstriders. Hellstriders are also a problem. A fun game, though. A fun game. I will be stealing that, though. Warriors of Chaos. Aeson strats. You could even do the same thing with Tzeentch and just go for like a sick Aeson kite. I think that would be very fun. Toad Dragons are anti-infantry. Doesn't make a big difference. They still do a lot of damage to single entities. At least I think so. What's their melee attack value at? Yeah, 51 melee attack. They'll hit anything. Not a problem. Yeah. I kind of want to try Aeson Kite. Aeson Kite versus like a lot of factions would be really good. You could totally do that versus like Norska. Anyone with skirmishers that don't heal. You could even maybe do it with against Wood Elves. And just go for like a normal mass kite build. I think you could totally skip the trolls too. If you do that. Lots of Forsaken is pretty smart. Ideas. You love Nurgle? Well, we increased the win rate by a little bit today. We added 2 wins over the 50% mark. Although I think Nurgle's already decent-ish win rate. So I hope you enjoyed. I gotta go edit now. We got some editing to do. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll see what I feel like doing. Maybe I'll do a campaign stream. Tomorrow could quite possibly be that. So keep an eye out, same time as usual. And I'll see you guys then. Peace.